I think about that. I think about how I always love to be around trees, and it's
Sure.
you know, and
Sure.
how they provide shade, they create climate, and we should plant more trees too.
Yeah.
Like plant more trees.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to reduce your sales; they're going to increase your sales as a businessman or business owner, and they're going to provide shade and reduce the urban heat island effect.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess it's just like by way of kind of wrapping it up. I think my role and the role of other people who, again, I'm not a horticulturalist. Like, people always joke with me. They're like, we're walking along, they're like, "Oh, you run gardens? What is that?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"It's a spiky plant."
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, right. But you,
No, I'm not that bad.
Right,
But the point is, I don't need to be a horticultural expert. I don't need to be a master gardener. We need lots of master gardeners. We need horticultural experts. But so I'm a planner, and I work with land use and coordinating programs. Okay, we have people who are great community organizers. We have people who are great at fundraising. We have people who are great at so all these different kinds of skill sets are needed. Like people ask, like, what does it take to get a garden going? Well, I say there's this huge layer of work behind every garden that you never see. Right.
Yeah.
We do a lot of videos and a lot of pictures, a lot of tours. People see the garden, they see the kids in the garden, they see the end result, and that's really cool. That's a lot of work just managing this spot.
Yeah.
But everything it takes to just plan, like to bring it from a piece of paper or a computer note to real life. So I would encourage people, if you're like interested in like city planning, if you're interested in social justice, if you're interested in education, if you're interested in like how nonprofits work, consider being involved in like building community gardens and community farms, because you don't have to be the person who knows anything or even ever gets their hands in the soil. We need people on the back end, like this huge network of people on the back end.
Right.
And that's sort of, even though I get out here a lot, and I like playing outside basically. So I get out here a lot, but and I like building things.
Video games.
And I like building things, and I like doing things with my hands. But I also like, and I'm moving my role now to try to be the back infrastructure so other people can succeed at their gardens.
I love that. To be the back infrastructure.
Yeah.
So other people can see it at their gardens.
Yeah.
And I think about what you do, and I always come back to this amazing man, Henry Ford. There is a lawsuit against him. They brought him to the stand, and they were suing him for, I don't know, they called him a common man, whatever. He wasn't fancy and intelligent enough, whatever the charge of the day was. And they asked him, "Do you know X, Y, and Z about the engine? Or do you know X, Y, and Z about the electronics here or the combustion here?" He said, No. But I can push a button and I can have the expert on my desk in a second, right? So what I think you're doing, and doing a beautiful job at it, and a lot of other people, we need to do this, is you need to just be true to who you are. Like, I know I'm a communicator. I feel like I'm finally, in addition to teaching, finding my pace. I'm in my zone, right? Yeah. Interviewing people about what they do, helping trumpet their message, share it, and really get people revved. I get people revved up and go, and then you organize and get all these people to do their thing, and then sort of like get them off into the races. And I think that part of my Green Revolution YouTube and podcast is also not only inspiring, but also like, be you, right? Like, and telling people out there, if you're a planner, be a planner. Yeah. Like, you don't have to know every breakdown of all the different lettuces, right? I don't know.
If you're good at asking people for money, ask people for money.
If you're good at fundraising, right? So to be you, and realize that when you see someone that's so successful, that you might have another way to get there. Yeah. And I look at that. I look at the kids we inspire and talk about, and I think about that. That's a concrete thing. Inspiration's concrete. Organization is concrete. Oh yeah. And thanks for saying that, because you don't have to be an expert to get a packet of seeds, right? No. Just plant. Right. Go to the Adopt a Plot. Carol Harris in Newark, the Adopt a Plot organization. Go to the Greater Newark
Conservancy. Used to be Carol. She's actually moved on now.
Who is it now?
It's Nicole Jones, I believe.
Nicole Jones.
Yeah, she's great.
Nicole Jones of Adopt a Plot. And speaking of this, as we wrap up, how can we contact you or your organization and work with you if everybody's interested? What's the...
Sure. I'm happy to share my email. I don't know if you're going to post it on
I'll post it on the below. Yeah, I'll post the information below this YouTube. Yeah.
So I think email is always the best way to get in touch with me. But also, if you're in the area and you want to come out to the East Orange YMCA, if you're an East Orange resident or advocate or somebody who wants to get involved, just go to the East Orange YMCA and ask for me, Emilio. You can ask at the front desk. They'll give you my card, or they'll connect you. And I'll post my personal email. No problem with people reaching out to me. If you're in the Newark area and you want to get involved, or you want to get your kids involved or whatever, I can point you in the right direction.
Awesome. And last question, I was just thinking of this. Top 3 people or entities, top 2 people you think I should go interview next.
Okay. That's off the top of my head. That's gonna be a little tough to think about.
Give me one. And while he's saying that, I was thinking, here's a good tagline: subscribe to stay alive. And what I mean, subscribe to stay alive. If you truly believe in the triple bottom line, people, profit, plan. If you truly believe that it's about us all rising together. We rise, right? That rising tide lifts all ships. Then subscribe, share this. And I mean that in the most, like, I'm a teacher, I do this for fun. I also love doing this, and I want people to spread this message. We have some pretty heavy hitters on our YouTube already. Dr. Dixon Pommier, the author of The Vertical Farm. We have the president of the New Jersey Board of Education and the founder of the Willow School, one of the most eco-friendly schools I've ever been at. Mark Biedron, and other people are reaching out already. So this is going to be something huge. More importantly than it being huge and big is the fact that we're doing it for the right reasons. And subscribe to stay alive. Green Rev. Green Rev. Anybody you thinking?
If you want to talk to more gardeners, I think it'd be really interesting to talk to like someone more like a brand new gardener. So I can connect you with someone like that.
Sure.
See why they're getting into it. I keep finding that every urban farmer and gardener I talk to has like different reasons why they're into it. So if you want to connect with some people, young people of color who are seeing this also as a big social justice movement,
huge. Right.
I can hook you up with some of those.
Done.
And if you want to talk to a pro composter who's like doing compost entrepreneur stuff, there's some people I met that are doing that.
All right.
And I know you love that stuff. And if you want to talk to, have you talked to Aero Farms?
Aero Farms.
I can connect you with Aero Farms.
Can you?
Yeah.
Aero Farms.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which is, and Dixon mentioned this, it is one of the first significant indoor vertical farms in the country.
Aeroponic.
In the country, right? Aeroponic.
Misting the plants.
Aeroponic. Not hydro, water, not aqua with the fish poop.
Right.
Aeroponic.
Like
super
very small amounts of water, nutrient solution, misting the roots.
Super efficient. Super efficient.
In some ways.
I guess I have to talk to
in water.
them.
I think they use a lot of energy, but they could tell you a lot more about that.
Awesome.
They use a lot of lights, but they can tell you more about that.
Emilio, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Subscribe to stay alive. I don't know.